So this is how you get people's attention and you hold it. You interact with them through video. So for video for sales with Vidyard, you can create custom video messages, connect with customers and prospects, and track each and every view, just like you had mentioned, Ben. And who's better to talk about this than you, Ben? You've had some immaculate wins when it comes down to the video creation tool, and especially with social selling too. You also use it in LinkedIn, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. So I use it on LinkedIn in both a marketing and sales context. Actually, it's the reason why I do participate on LinkedIn because I. Thanks, Doug. All right. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. So it's definitely why I participate in LinkedIn in terms of content creation. When you produce a video so quickly, it's something that I can produce a marketing video fast. I can get it up on LinkedIn in a way that people actually watch it and consume the content. As you said, in terms of being disruptive of the pattern, how many people are really engaging with some of the text content on LinkedIn? There's definitely some, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I do here and there too. But I could tell you, I see it in my own engagement rates that people are, especially now, especially in a time where we're not communicating with other people
Mm-hmm.
in person like we used to. People are looking for those interpersonal ways to connect with people, and video is increasing my likes and shares and comments and that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also really helps on that one-to-one social selling where we're in their inbox, we're sharing a link as part of a message, and it's also able to pull them into email and phone conversations better because we're able to develop a rapport that you can't develop just through text.
No doubt. No doubt at all. And somebody was telling me the other day, they said not only is it like more effective in terms of educating people, but they were telling me that the response that they get from people when they send them a video, based off of, let's say, for instance, if you're cold calling versus you're sending off videos, people are more willing to talk to you.
Hmm.
And I think the reason being is because they actually see that there's a person on the other end of this interaction. When you're sending or calling somebody cold, or when you're sending them an email, it's so easy to just like delete it. It's so easy to just say nope, not interested, and hang up the phone. But when you see the person's face and you hear their voice, you understand their tonality, and you listen to their message, bring some sort of a delight to people where they're now willing to interact with you as a human being. So yeah, that's another really good key component about why. So we want to talk about the different types of videos that you can create and be scrappy with. To start off, there's the selfie style video. Selfie style video is great for introducing yourself, for getting off a short 30-second message where you speak to maybe some personalization to them, or you talk to them about your service offerings, but nonetheless are keen to they see your face, they hear your voice. Like for me, this is beside me all the time. I always have this. So I got your name on here, Ben, but always. And it's so simple. It's just a little whiteboard. When you see your name and you see it inside of a video that someone made for you, instantly something triggers inside of you. We're like, okay, this person's making a message for me. They're not making a message for everybody that's going to be generic or the same. So it becomes compelling, and it really helps capture attention and stand out. So then we also have the screen share style. The screen,
At least
yeah,
not to take you midstream here,
yeah, no
but
worries.
pro tip: if you're a sales rep and you're trying to think about a way to make that a little bit more efficient, if people have the same first name, I mean, there's more than one Ben in the world. So if you can organize your outreach by first name, that's a win. You can knock those out pretty quickly, and then you can also save these videos and refer back to your library later. Now, of course, if you're being ultra custom and you're referring to their company name, et cetera, that's not possible. But here and there, it's perfectly acceptable just to use the first name in terms of customization, and that's a quick win there.
For sure. And even when you tap into something like account-based marketing, if you have 10 key target accounts that you're going after, maybe you don't want to put their name on here. Maybe you just want to write what the company name is. And that's enough personalization to entice somebody to click the play button. And then you're making one video that you could send to everybody in that organization. So absolutely, really, really good. Yeah, really good tip. And Nada, that I totally agree. Amazing tip. And then for I was going to tap into the screen share aspect. So this is my favorite. I use the screen share more than I use the selfie style tool, especially nowadays, because basically what you can do is I can go on somebody's LinkedIn, I can go on somebody's website, and I can have a little chat bubble that pops up in the top left corner that I can move around if I'd like, and I can basically just screen record, and it brings that element of personalization. And if your business is one where, for instance, let's say you're an agency, someone like yourself, Ben, where you're doing changes technically to people's websites or their internal structure and processes within their organization. What a better way to show them what you're thinking in your brainstorms than to actually record a video on their website to say what you would change. So it really, really brings out the brilliance of what you're trying to accomplish, and at the end of the day, it allows you to effectively communicate that to them. Now, also with screen shares, and Ben, I'm not sure if you've taken advantage of doing this yet, but with proposals and with knowledge transfers. So somebody was telling me the other day that on average, there's about 6 decision makers in every organization before a decision actually gets made. And typically as a sales rep, you might be speaking to 1 or 2 champions within that organization. But if all these people need to learn about your software solution or any type of solution that you have to offer as a salesperson, then for them to be able to send off the video that you made from them, whether it's a pricing schedule or your initial, or like let's say a meeting summary post meeting with your champion, they can now send that off to all those decision makers, and you'll get notifications that say that they've sent it off and people are watching it. So you know when to follow up. It's no broken telephone, and it becomes a lot easier to retain information. Have you started using it for proposals and stuff, Ben?
Yeah, we definitely use it for proposals. Again, it's a nice little trigger point to know when somebody's actually engaged with your proposal, because if they're more likely to buy if they're clicking on that link and actually watching the walkthrough of the proposal. Also, not only does it shorten the sales cycle that way, but it also shortens the actual close call.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be helpful as well, just in terms of a typical time savings piece. I also find it really helpful for demos, trying to do less in terms of demo in the overall sales process, but I can send off a micro demo here and there. I can send off, a little how-to here and there that helps keep the communication going during the sales process without necessarily spending, 60, 90 minutes with all the stakeholders on a demo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's super true. And also, you just gave me an epiphany about a conversation I had back when I was in business development. I remember somebody told me, they said, they're like, we don't have videos, we don't want to make videos, and they said, but they're like, one day we're going to create customer testimonials, and when we make those customer testimonials, come back to me and we'll have a conversation. And I remember going to Jacob Fernandez, our video coach, and I was talking to him about that conversation. And he's like, well, why don't you tell them that they can create customer testimonials with the screen share? I'm like, what? I'm like, you're totally right. You know what? Like, you don't have to spend money in creating these super polished videos. You can make just as impactful videos. And in regards to customer testimonial, for example, imagine a PowerPoint with 2 or 3 slides about what you've done for your customers and screen sharing it, and using that on your website, or using that to send it off to your customers or your prospective customers. So it blew my mind, where it's like, people are usually waiting for perfection. However, the scrappiness and being able to piece things together just because of the video creation tool enables you to make that move a lot faster.
Mm-hmm. Nothing related to growing our businesses or serving our customers, but one little, as a normal human, tip with the screen share. I love using this for when I have customer service needs. If you're on a piece of software, or you're having a problem, or you see a technical error someplace, you can have a back and forth with someone and hope they understand what you're talking about, or you can just take a little screen share and send it off to, I had a technical issue with HubSpot the other day. I shot a little video, 30 seconds. I sent it over to the support team. They could look at it, see exactly what the issue is. And so instead of, beating your head against a wall with customer service, you actually shortcut that whole process as a consumer. And then on the other hand, too, if you're responsible for customer success at your organization, you can utilize video just the same to close tickets faster.
I got a question for you, Ben, and anyone else in the chat that wants to chime in on this for the ones that have used Vidyard. But in terms of building the habit of creating videos instead of defaulting to writing an email, how long did it take you to just start saying video instead of saying email or call?
That's a good question. And sometimes you do fall into that trap, but where you're not creating a video and you should, but you end up realizing it after a period of time. I would say it probably took me a couple weeks to really get into the groove of this is what I do by default. But even now, I'll find myself writing an email and then, I deleted this sentence. And then I'm thinking, how do I actually communicate this? And so you start going down that road and realizing, hey, I just need to create a video here, and it's going to simplify this process a whole heck of a lot more.
For sure. And I always tell everybody, I say, video is not a be-all, end-all means of communicating. It is perfect supplement to calling and emailing. And a lot of people think I could use video for everything, and you totally can. But I think with supplementing calls and emails, it just creates a perfect trifecta of communications. Everything has its purpose.